A-Level Biology 9700, Paper 4, Variant 1, May, June 2025. This is the question 4 and video 3 on this paper. So you can see the question number 4 is there. And question number 4 has scientists have invented a way of producing food by artificial photosynthesis. Solar panels convert sunlight energy into electricity. The electricity powers an electrolysis reaction between carbon dioxide gas and water to form the organic product acetate. The single-celled alga, Chlamydomonas protoctis, can use acetate to grow and reproduce in the dark instead of photosynthesizing in the light. So the alga can be processed to make a food product. Figure 4.1 shows an outline of the artificial photosynthesis process. You can see in this figure 4.1, the sun, solar panel absorbing the sunlight and then supplying the electricity to the electrolyzer, and water and carbon dioxide are used in this electrolyzer, and as a result oxygen is releasing with acetate as well. So the acetate is used by the alga to produce the food. So now we have to find out the three similarities between the artificial photosynthesis process shown in the figure 4.1 and the normal process of photosynthesis. So here we have to write the answer that we have to find out the three similarities. And students, you know very well that in the normal process of photosynthesis, you know the equation of photosynthesis, that is 6 carbon dioxide, 6 molecules of carbon dioxide and 6 molecules of water are used up during the reaction of photosynthesis in the presence of sunlight in green parts. There is the formation of C6, H12, O6 plus 6 O2. So carbon dioxide, water, sunlight, and the production of oxygen. So all these are the similarities between a normal process of photosynthesis. You know, in normal process of photosynthesis, carbon dioxide is used, water is required, sunlight is needed, and then products are carbohydrates and oxygen. So these are the similarities in them, in both of these processes. So I would like to first of all, the presence of carbon dioxide. That is the first is the both processes use carbon dioxide as the primary source. Source of carbon to create organic secondly, both processes require water as a reactant. As a reactant in the light independent stage. light dependent stage. Light dependent stage is that stage in which sunlight is required for the process of photolysis. That is, the water is broken down. It is broken down into hydrogen and oxygen. And in both processes, oxygen is produced. Both processes energy is needed. So we can write the first three one. Now we will move towards the next question. And next question is, figure 4.2 shows the single-celled alga, Chlamydomonas. It contains a large cup-shaped chloroplast for photosynthesis. Structure A and B in figure 4.2 are found within the chloroplast. So here you can see the structure A. This is the structure A. So it is starch. Okay. And you can see the B is this membranous structure, which is thylakoid membrane. Because inside the chloroplast, thylakoid membrane is there. So thylakoid membranes make up the granum. So these are the starch grain. And so in the next, I would like to move. Thylakoid membranes are the site of the light dependent stage of photosynthesis. That is the first stage of photosynthesis. Name the product of light dependent stage of photosynthesis. So the name of the uh, product of the light dependent stage. This stage captures light energy and converts it into chemical energy. So three main products of the light dependent stage are ATP, formation of ATP, and NADP, or you can see formation of ATP. We can write reduced NADP and oxygen. So in this during this the capturing of sunlight takes place, and which converts sunlight is converted into chemical energy. And during this, ATP and reduced NADP and oxygen are produced. Next question is, some of the protein components of a thylakoid membrane have a role in the light-dependent stage of photosynthesis. Explain the roles of the different proteins that function in the light-dependent stage of photosynthesis. So the different types of proteins which play a role during the light-dependent stage, as already told you that the light-dependent stage is that stage during the which is the first stage and which is also called as the light reaction, and during the light reaction, light is required. So during this, the proteins play are organized into four main complexes. You can see the photosystem 2, cytochrome, photosystem 1, and ATP synthase. So you can see the during, I would like to write the photosystem 2. What happens during photosystem 2? The complex contains pigments binding proteins that absorb protons and funnel the energy to the reaction center during during the photosystem 2. What happens during this? That um, it contains during the photosystem 2, the contains pigment binding. So light harvesting complex is there. So what happens during this? The proteins absorbs contains pigments, pigment binding proteins that absorb that absorb photons and funnel the energy to the reaction center. And what is reaction center? A special pair of chlorophyll, a molecule that upon exciting loss or electron and become oxidized. And then you can say the water splitting enzyme are present over there, which located on the lumen. This complex contains proteins that catalyze the photolysis of water to replace the electron lost. So you can see there are also the complex contains proteins. Then you can see there is cytochrome. Second one, cytochrome complex, which contains the component, which is a key component of the electron transport chain. So its functions are it accepts electrons from a mobile carrier and passes them to another mobile carrier. I would like to write the second point is the cytochrome complex, which accepts the electrons from a mobile carrier and passes them to another mobile. In bracket, I would like to write electron transport chain. Then there is also light harvesting. There is photosystem 1. A special, you can see light harvesting. It absorbs photons and funnels energy into the reaction center again. The photosystem 1 perform a very specific role. Also a light harvesting. And then you can see the reductase is an enzyme in photosystem 1 is an enzyme associated with final destination for electrons in non-cyclic photophosphorylation. And the fourth one is, you can say the fourth point which I would like to write is the ATP synthesis. ATP synthesis, which is in an enzyme complex which is an enzyme complex that spans. So I would like to write over here that spans the thylakoid membrane acting as a proton channel. So it allows the ions to flow down their concentration gradient. It allows the ions to move their concentration gradient. So you can see there are many roles which performed by these proteins. They are performing as proton pumping. Proton pumping is also one of them. Proton pumping, proton pumps are there, which pumps the protons inside or out of the membrane. So in this way, you can say that There are many functions which are performed by these proteins. Now would like to move towards the next question. And next question is, the product of the light-dependent stage of photosynthesis are used in the Calvin cycle. Calvin cycle intermediates are used to produce amino acids, carbohydrates, and lipids. Name the Calvin cycle intermediates that can be used to produce starch. So here I would like to write there are actually the key three carbon intermediate produced in the Calvin cycle are that serves as the precursor for carbohydrate synthesis. So they are like glucose, sucrose, and starch. So they are glycerate 3-phosphate or it reduced from triose phosphate. Glycerate 3-phosphate reduced form triose phosphate. So glycerate 3-phosphate is the first stable product. The actual molecule that exits the egg cycle to be used for synthesis is the reduced form, which is triose phosphate. So next question is, scientists claim that the artificial photosynthesis process shown in figure 4.1 is more efficient at converting light energy into food than normal photosynthesis by crop plants. Give reasons why this claim may or may not be true. First of all, they have given the heading for true. So we will go with the true. So first of all, you can see uh, the artificial process bypasses the rate limiting and inefficient carbon dioxide fixation step performed by enzyme rubiscose in crop plants. So rubiscose often undergoes uh, photorespiration, instead of which waste energy and reduces net productivity, particularly in hot, dry condition. So the second, the alga or clay madam are fed acetate, a simple organic molecule which allow to them to grow and produce in the dark without needing to perform the light dependent reactions or the entire Calvin cycle themselves. So this removes the constraint of sunlight availability, potentially speeding up overall food production. And say other one can be the solar panels convert light into electricity with a relatively high efficiency. So the electricity then powers the electrolyzers directly to create the energy rich acetate, which might be a more efficient path than the entire biological light independent and light dependent stages. So these can be the points for the true. So first of all, I would go with to write with them. That is the elimination of carbon dioxide fixation constraints, the artificial process. The first point is elimination of carbon dioxide fixation fixation constraints. The artificial, I think I should start directly with, because I have very uh, space is very less as I am writing on the my laptop screen. So the artificial processes bypass the rate limiting and step performed by the enzyme through visco often undergoes undergoes photorespiration. Photorespiration, which wastes energy. And what is photorespiration? Photorespiration in which the carbon dioxide reacting with oxygen instead of carbon dioxide. So during this process, there can be the wastage of energy because the carbon dioxide is required for that process. So the second, which we can write, the alga are fed acetate, are fed acetate, which allows them to grow and reproduce in which allow and grow them in the dark. In the dark without needing to perform light dependent light dependent reactions. So in this way, these can be the true statement which they have claimed. Now the second which we have to write now about that why it is not true. Why it is not true? First of all, the entire system, solar panels, maintenance, the entire system and and solar panels and the electrolyzer require industrial infrastructure require industrial infrastructure maintenance and operational energy. Which increase the cost. So in this way, the second which we can write, if you the alga use acetate that still have complex metabolic needs. So there is a metabolic cost, loss, or heat during respiration when the alga uptake and metabolize the acetate to produce biomass, adding an extra layer of inefficiency not present in plants that choose self-produced glucose immediately. So in this way, I would like to say it was all about the question number 4. Please like, share, and subscribe my channel to watch more videos on this paper as well as to other papers. Thanks for watching.